All right. Welcome to the podcast. We're live, so don't say any cuss words. It's inappropriate. That's it. Somebody please put a tape on her mouth.
Throw me off.
Don't have to worry about her.
Connie.
Yeah.
Connie's fired.
Yay!
Yeah, this is
Hurry
some.
up, get that dick, dude.
Yeah, this is some new footage on the. What is it? The Skyway? What was it?
Sheriff Hall of Skyway,
Cheer
where,
up, Hathaway.
Yeah.
where
look
it
at,
always
look
freaking rains.
yeah, it always rains, as we can say.
Yeah.
You love the rain, Les. Come on. I think you were wringing
Hey,
out your riding gloves.
There was one time it was so, well, we was in the clouds actually. It wasn't fog, but it was so dense I couldn't even see 5 feet in front of me. Hello, Sparky. How's it going? Hope you're enjoying your lovely hat. We got merch at throttleandiron.com.
Yes, we did. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh
Hey,
my
Chris,
gosh. Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
You know I gotta ask, can they hear us now?
No.
He's a liar. Yes, they can. Don't say it.
I'm calling
Hey.
BS.
We got 13 people watching. Please like and subscribe to the podcast. We're on our way to 750. And once we reach that, we will give away a lovely gift card. It's coming out of my wife's bank account.
I don't think so.
You know that,
Thanks,
Connie?
Marky.
All right, folks.
Nice music, man.
You like it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You should see the video. Look how clear that is.
Crystal Quill.
Yeah, I can't speak.
Yeah,
Never could.
along with the rain.
All right. Welcome tonight. Special guest, Tony from Saddlemen MC Club.
Nice.
Yes. It's a local club,
Nice.
and this is kind of like an expansion that we talked about 2 weeks ago about the clubs and groups and what's good about them and what's bad about them. Tonight's going to be what's good about them. Hopefully.
Might be a little of both.
Yeah. If you look behind him, let's talk about that. If you look behind him, there's some checks on the wall that this is how much they raise for causes. Yes, exactly right. So they've done a lot of good in the neighborhood, and we're going to be talking about that tonight. So welcome to the podcast. Somebody's got their somebody's got their mic up.
Oh, it was me. It was me.
Connie has been fired. We are still
Nice.
looking.
Not me.
We are still
Oh.
looking for a tech person. It seems like Connie can't figure it out.
Twice in one day. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to be your name mentioned on the podcast, go ahead and type in the chat. We will have chat on, like right here. We can do that. Like Heather says, "Hi everyone."
Hey,
Like I said,
Heather.
welcome to the podcast. If you got any questions about anything that we talk about tonight, just put it in there, and we'll star them. And at the end, if we don't get to your question at the spot, because I know how it is. I just gave him a comment and they didn't even post it. Sometimes we star them, we wait till the very end, and then we actually talk about it and discuss it. So that's how it works. All right, what is going on here? It looks like I'm really behind.
Hey, last behave.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
that's no fun. Nope.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Tony, and how long you've been riding, what kind of bikes you got, because I know you got a whole garage full.
Oh yeah, I sure do. I've been riding. March of 2026 will be my 40th year riding. I bought my first street bike when I was 15 years old, and was driving on the street. No license or anything like that back in the day. I don't even think I got my license until I was, I think 20.
I think that's a lot of people, actually. Some people don't
Yeah.
still ride, and they don't even have their license.
I think I got a permit every year for 15 years.
Well, I rode dirt bikes and things like that, but I come from a long family of riders. My dad rode, my grandfather rode, and my great grandfather rode in the war. And now my grandson just bought his first bike, got his endorsement within the last couple months. So hopefully that'll continue on.
Nice.
You're being called out by Albert.
Yes,
wants
he
to know,
is.
Wants to know why you don't have the Saddlemen hat on.
I don't have a Saddlemen hat. I only wear fitted hats. These guys, they got the big D, the whole D link.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
next thing you know, they freaking get the whole sunburnt D in the middle of their forehead. And I'm just like, yeah, I ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I've always rode with, a bunch of friends, and we all wrenched on our own bikes and helped each other out. And Max, you probably know how it was back in the day. People would get together and
Sure
help
do.
each other, work on their bikes. And, none of us could afford any new bikes or anything like that. So you bought used bikes, and when they broke down, you had to work on them, so.
Yeah, and the catalogs weren't 3 New York phone books deep either.
Exactly.
You made do with what you had. Yeah, you
Right.
made do with what you have. Yeah.
Your best friend was a climber service manual.
I think I still have some of those out in the garage, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I absolutely do, because I still rent my own stuff, so even the new ones.
Yeah.
Wrench on Saturday, ride on Sunday.
Exactly right.
Oh yeah. I'm always working on something. My garage is filled with stuff, but yeah, I got a 19 Street Glide special. I got a 97 Heritage Springer Softail. I got an 03 Wide Glide. My wife is probably saying that's hers about right now because she just got her endorsement. That's what we're gonna start letting her piddle around on. And then I got a 75 Sportster and a 73 Triumph 750.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, to just ask about your wife, what made her decide to start riding?
She always wanted to, and she's such a great backseat driver. It was time for her to maybe get on the front seat and see what it's really about.
Yeah, there you go.
She's like that in the car too, so it don't matter.
So she's on the back of the bike smacking you, saying slow down, right?
Oh yeah, watch out for that. Why ain't you
Oh,
going
yeah.
around? Why are you? It's like, holy crap! I've been driving a motorcycle before I even knew you. Way longer than I even knew you. I think I'm doing all right.
Heck yes, man.
Greg Rackins to say hello all. Kodak says he's a great mechanic. Don't let him tell you, fool you. So, all right.
I piddle around.
Yep. All right. So, your main bike is the what's your main bike?
Street Glide?
The Street Glide.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my main one, and my Springer Softail. It's sort of a collector's. They only made so many, and like from '97 to '03 is like the years to have, but the '97, the first year, is the one that's the most sought after. So I try to keep it, not ride it in the rain, or if it's going to rain, and sort of like having a hot rod car, but it's not a garage ornament, but by any means, I will ride it. So,
Gotcha. So you always
it took me a long time to get that bike. Some guy I knew had it, and I would service it, and then he'd put it back in the garage and let it sit for a few years, and he'd bring it back, and I'd get it running again. And we did that about 5 or 6 times before I said, "Hey man, if you ever sell this bike, I'd like to have it." And then one day he called me up and he's like, "Hey man, I think I'm going to sell it." And, so we ended up making a deal, and I ended up getting it. So I'm the third owner of it.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cool.
So have you always been Harley-Davidson?
I've always liked Harleys. Indians wasn't a big thing, when I was a kid, other than the old ones. I do like the history of Indians, like back in the day, all their engines were cast molded.
Mm-hmm.
So if all 4 of us had the same bike, they all 4 would run different and have different power levels and things like that, because once they casted that, they had to, redo another cast mold for the new engine, and they never were exactly the same. They were close, but never exactly the same. So, that little part of history is great about the Indians, the old Indians. I've always liked Harleys. But I've drove everything. I've had CBR 1000s. I've had
Mm-hmm.
Triumphs. I've had a Norton. I've had everything but a Yamaha. Pretty much.
Yeah.
You
The
know.
Yeah, the reason I was asking, so what do you think about the new Harleys and the new tech and stuff? I love it,
What?
but some people, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta, I'll never buy another new Harley again. I mean, I've fixed most of the Harley
Mhm.
issues
Mhm.
with my Street Glide that they have, and I feel like they use us as guinea pigs sometimes. Like they throw the motor out there, and then we drive the shit out of them, and then they start having issues, and
Mhm.
then they, they'll fix it with the 5th generation model or whatever, the 5th year. So I I like the history of it.
Mhm.
I don't like the new Harleys because they do look like Indians. If you think about it,
Well,
and my thing about that is, if I wanted an Indian, which I have nothing against Indian, I think they're beautiful bikes and they come with a lot of stuff. And I've actually, if I ever was going to buy another new bike, I probably would buy an Indian.
Oh, okay.
okay.
But
And so,
Harley started going like the bags and the fairings and everything. Just, I mean, if you got an Indian and a Harley off in the distance, if you're not looking at the motor or anything like that, just the body lines and everything are very similar. And I think Harley really messed up with that.
Gotcha.
and see, that's the thing, Tony. That's where I think Indian messed up. Because in the beginning, they all came out with the Valance fenders and everything else. And that's what my
Yeah.
old bike had.
Right.
I told people I wanted an Indian that looked like an Indian.
Absolutely.
Nowadays, they don't look like Indians so much. There are style cues there, but they don't. You'd have to work real hard, and only certain models come with the Valance fenders anymore. Not to mention the fact that on both of them, guess what? The day of the backyard mechanic is just about over because you're going to need a computer, a laptop, and all kinds of stuff to work on these bikes these days.
Yep.
Because it's the stuff that you do, you can't do that to these bikes. It would never run. So,
Right. Yeah, I got the computer. I got the programmers. I still wrench on my bike and I still program it. But you're right though. I mean, if you do like a cam job or race compression or change things like that, I mean, you could put a basic program into the bike to make it, run decent. But if you really want it to run, you're going to have to throw it on a trailer and find you a good dyno guy, which is very hard to find.
yes.
A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I can dyno." And yeah, not really. You really can't. So I mean, when I put the Cyclorama 470 or I'm sorry, 485 cam in mine, and I got it close. It was running good, but I took it down to Schaefer's Performance down in oh god dang it, it's down in Kentucky. And he did a phenomenal job on it. And if I ever do anything else to it, that's exactly where I'll take it. It was between them and the dyno guys. Those two guys were probably some of the best that I know within 700 miles of here.
Right.
So running a 485 cam, where's your power curve come in? Around 2600?
Yeah, it comes in. I mean, cruisability wise, you don't really notice it, but like if you grab a handful of throttle, 2500, you start to feel it. But man, once you hit $3,000, it's 3 to 6,200 all day long, and it will go. It's I think I'm 130 horse, 135 foot-pounds of torque to the back wheel.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. When I built mine, I
Very
put in a 575 cam, but I put in a long duration. So that made the power curve come in so high. It didn't come into about 2,800.
right.
So, cruisability around town wasn't quite as nice. It was a little lurchy. But,
Right.
man, once it hit, though, it was a ball of fun all the way up to, 6,500 RPM. It was,
Oh yeah, and that's one thing that people come to me. They're like, "What cam do you recommend I put in?" I'm like, "Well, you have to first think about how do you drive your bike." because you know what I like doesn't mean that's what you're going to like. You know, some people like that very low end torque, and they're happy with that low to mid, and you know, for me, I wouldn't be happy with that. I'm more mid and up, but I still want that cruisability. So I don't want to be all high end, but I don't want all the low end either. I had a Softail Deluxe 2012 that 103 that I put a that Screaming Eagle 255 cam in it, and it's really made. It's really made for a dresser.
Yeah.
But man, if I was at a light and I would hit that throttle, man, that whole frame would twist and that bike would go left to the point where I had to let out of the throttle. There was no way I could launch it. And it had spoke wheels. So after about the second tire on it, you know, Brad at the bike shop, he was like, "Hey man, you probably want to change your outer rim after this one because you're starting to pull the spoke holes were starting to get ovaled out from all the torque and everything." So
the Screaming Eagle 255, I think that had a ton of low end torque.
Ton of low end torque.
It kind of lost it on the top end, as I remember right, but you could cruise down the road and just crack the throttle a little bit, and it'd pull really hard.
It was good to about $4,000, 4,500. That was it. That's all you had.
That's freaking crazy. All right, I got to interrupt here. All right, we're 15 minutes in. We're actually 16 minutes in, so I got to do my first friends thing. So I don't know if you guys know, if we reached 1,000 subscribers, our friends have donated a bunch of parts, as a lot of people know. I wish I don't have the picture of them. You guys know what they are. Foot pegs, floorboards, about $700 worth of stuff. Great stuff. What were we gonna say, Max?
Lights, bag lights.
Bag lights. Oh yeah, we got the bag lights, and we got lots of stuff in this box for 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach there, and we're gonna give it away. Everybody can go to the website, sign up for the giveaway. Somebody will win it. If you don't have an Indian, you can sell the stuff, make some money off of it. But anyway, it's a good cause for us because hey, we're reaching 1,000 subscribers.
That's right.
You have some swamp sauce in there, right?
Swamp sauce.
Gator Mike stuff.
I guess I got it.
Les, did you get your package this week?
Right,
I did.
Okay, I did too. All right.
Yeah,
so
so
what's the green sauce go on?
It says everything. I don't know.
Everything.
Some bag lights. It says everything. It's actually good stuff.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I know
You guys are the
sweet and
Chris
spicy.
and Con. Yeah, Chris and Connie are the only ones that have used it.
Oh,
so what do you put it on?
Well, that sweet and spicy, I put it on a bunch of hash browns on Sunday. That stuff's good.
Really?
Hey,
Oh yeah,
Matt,
Wow.
it says put it on everything. So just put it on everything, okay? It's not that bad.
Yeah, Frank's
And,
Red Hot says the same thing. I don't do that either.
All right, we got
Bob-
third. Another thing is,
Bob from BC Custom is going to get a set of levers, right, for whoever wins the custom
yes,
set.
exactly right,
Can't
Bob.
forget about BC.
And speaking of that, let me bring this back up here again. All right, so Ride Culture, go to their website. They got a bunch of Indian parts. Also, like I said, the floor bed.
What else you got back there?
What are you talking about? I got everything back here.
Okay.
Yeah, the floorboards. They got lights. They got fiber. What is it called?
Carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber. Yeah,
fiber.
parts for Indians. Make your bike lighter. You go faster than a Harley-Davidson.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm kidding. Then in BC, we just did a video that we're gonna at the end of the show, or actually about 10 minutes before the show's over with. I'll send you guys a link in the chat where you guys can see the private video that's going to be released on Friday, installing these BC levers. So it's going to be pretty cool. All right, so that's our friends. All right, so I know you guys love talking about motorcycles, and we're a bunch of motorheads, but really what this podcast is about is Saddlemen. All right.
Wait a minute, Chris. Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Usually it's just me, but all three of us are imbibing tonight. Put the disclaimer down there.
Oh yeah, let's do that. There we go.
Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, at Throttle and Iron, we believe that throttles and bottles do not mix. We promote responsible drinking and do not condone drinking and riding. While we may enjoy a drink during the podcast, we do so safely at home with no riding taking place afterwards. Please enjoy responsibly, follow your local laws, never drink and ride safe, and live free. Les, what are you drinking tonight, my friend?
Well, I actually went and picked up off my bar some Bowmore 15-year peated single malt scotch.
Yeah, he's doing the high-end scotch tonight. Smoky. Tony, what you got?
Basil Hayden.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, there have been various complaints from various quarters who shall go unnamed and ignored about I'm supposed to be getting paid for all this stuff that I'm talking about.
Hold on a
Well,
second.
I'm not. I enjoy a good spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a very good one tonight. Blanton's. Yes, sir. One of the holy grails of bourbon. Will you stop that? Okay. Because like I said, if there's a serious drinker in the house, they're going to complain. Everybody knows the Blanton story. It's put out by Buffalo Trace, and it's one of the holy grails. So if you can find it at a decent price, and that's right around $100, I recommend you get it. This one I'm drinking tonight has the letter R on it, because if you get the whole series, it spells Blanton on the horses. That's one of the things that makes it collectible. But this comes from courtesy of my good friend Les, because he didn't like it, so he donated it to me. Thank you very much. All
It
right.
was okay.
Now let's talk about Saddlemen and charity.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have any buttons left, Chris?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, are you done?
Since
Are you
Max is
done?
done, we're gonna move on to the next slide, right, folks? All right.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So, who is Saddlemen? All right, Tony, tell us who Saddlemen is. What do you guys do? Or how
What we do, we're a motorcycle club that does charity work in the area. We have a couple events every year. We have one in the spring where we usually help a kid and their family that's going through some serious medical issues and things like that. For example, we did a benefit for Noah, which was our first one, and he was born with a partial heart. And I don't know all the terminology, medical terminology, but his heart's not pumping right. And they're still, battling that today. So he's had to have, I can't even tell you how many surgeries, to try to replumb his veins and stuff like that, to keep blood flowing where it needs to flow. But, I struggle with that one because, I always, all of our kids that we do benefits for, we stay in contact and they become Saddlemen family.
Gotcha.
So it's not like, we do a benefit and then we move on. I mean, they become our family, just like, our immediate family. And we check up on them. We keep up with them on Facebook and things like that. So we had Noah, we did 2 benefits for, there was, a little girl who was burned up in a trailer fire down towards Hazard, Kentucky. And we did a benefit for her. Her grandparents live up here and asked if we would help, which we did. Ashland is the only kid that we really haven't kept up with, and not on our end, but, they sort of just moved away. And, I see the grandparents every once in a while and, ask how she's doing and find out that she's doing great and things like that. But she's not, someone that's very local that we can, just drive by and see. And then we had a rider who ended up passing away this year from cancer that we helped out. And then Blaine Becker family, which was the last one. And Blaine was born with short gut. So I guess his intestines were wrapped around his stomach, and they didn't know that when he was born. So they had to remove a large portion of his small intestines. So he's got a very small intestine. So they got to give him medicine to make his large intestines, well, whatever's left of his small intestines, get as much nutrients out of his food that he eats, and what he can't, even though excuse me, even though he eats, he can't get the nutrients out of it. So then he's got a feeding tube that they have to, put medicine in to get nutrients and stuff like that. So there's, those are the type of kids that we help out, that are struggling. And Ryder, like I said, this year was the first one that we've lost, and it was pretty hard on us all. So, we want to do good. We want to do good and help out the community as much as possible. So most of our spring rides, that's what our spring ride is for. And here the last couple of years, have you guys heard of the organization called Osterroth?
I have not.
So Osterroth is an organization that they'll take like, I don't know, 5 or 6 kids, and they have a big benefit for them here on the west side. It's actually in Indiana, and they give kids their final wishes. They got something terminal going on with them. So, donations come in and they'll go to like Disney World or wherever, the kid wants to go, or something they like to do. Sort of like their last wish, I guess. So they got a category, like an age category, that they try to focus on. So the kids that don't fall into that category, we work with them and try to help out as much as possible. So that's usually where we get our kids at for our spring ride. And then our chili cook-off, which is more of an upbeat situation. That goes to our toy drive. So we buy, we usually, me and my wife dress up as Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and then we got, elves and the Grinch and things like that, people come and help pass out toys with. We usually pass out toys to about 200 to 300 kids every year, to make sure that every kid at least gets a gift. And we usually help out a couple families as well, make sure that they get their Christmas list and their, they're going to have Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner and things like that. So we make sure that all that's taken care of.
So that looks like that chili cook-off is going to be November 1st, right? 2025?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. It's always the first Saturday in November. So it's always a good time. We usually have like 30 or more chilies. So you go down and try them out. We'll have split the pot. We got a fire pit of cheer, and all this. I just want to say all this is donated by local businesses and companies in this area. Fishtails and Jackie's and Shamrock and all those places all donate to us. And there's a lot more. I mean, I could sit here and name names forever, but those are just the top 3 that stick out. And they're always willing to help, and they're always participating. That they usually contact us before we contact them, saying, "Hey, when are we donating again?" So, we got a good support base, and that's what we do. Because when I was a kid, we was poor, and we didn't have crap, and my dad got sent away for a while, but. If it wasn't for churches and people like us, I mean, there would have been times we wouldn't have had a Christmas. And just knowing that, as a kid, that's why we do what we do. And I'm not the only one that probably feels that way in our club. I mean, I'm sure all of my brothers at some point or time understands what that feels like. So, you get to a point in your life, man, where you're like, I got to start giving back. I got to start, helping other people out, and not just take all the time. It's about giving as well. And, with the world that we live in right now, it's a lot better if people would help each other out rather than beat each other down. So
yeah, I agree.
True.
So So this is on Drew's on the River. It's in Cincinnati.
Yep.
It's if you don't bring a chili, it costs you $10. All right, and then you
Yep.
can
Or
win
you
some.
can bring a
Yeah.
toy. You can bring a toy of equivalent value or
Mhm.
greater if you want to donate a toy. Um, the other thing about the Saddlemen too is 100% of everything we raise goes to the family
Mhm.
or the cause. We don't
Hmm.
keep no money or anything like that. 100%. We're 501(c). I mean, we're totally legit. Um, and every year it just keeps growing and growing.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds. I
Well,
mean,
I actually printed it off, so I'm going to try to make it to that, and I'll try to bring a pot of chili.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the VFW this year is having that Witch Walk,
mm-hmm.
which a lady named Becky put on from the VFW down there, and she asked me. She said, "Hey, we're going to do this, and we're going to do like a split the pot, and hit the local establishments down here, and whatever money that we raise, is it okay if we give it to you for your toy drive?" And we was like, absolutely. So we didn't really have anything to do with that. I came from the VFW down in Addiston wanting to do this, and got the local establishments all involved, and should be a good time.
Yeah, it's the first annual, so let's get everybody out there and make it a big event so it
Absolutely.
happens every year.
Absolutely. That's what everybody's hoping for, I believe.
Yeah. Hey Tony, we've got a comment here from Sparky, and I know the answer to this, but just to put it to rest, is the MC correlated with the seat company? Have you had any run-ins with the Saddlemen Seat Company over trademark?
No. We're two totally different companies. I mean, we're two totally different people. I mean, they're selling a product, and we're doing charity work. So no, we're trademarked. So that's all legit. So yeah, we have nothing with the Saddlemen Seat Company whatsoever.
Gotcha.
It's very good. It's very good to hear that you're a 501c3 too, and that's very important. Most people don't know what that is, but it's a tax exempt status that lets you operate as a charity, and that's very important. Okay.
Yep.
The other thing I want to address real quick is when you have MC behind the name, that does bring up some connotation to the general public. Kind of explain what you guys do by that, because not all MCs are the same.
Well, I mean, we are an MC. I mean, we are a motorcycle club, but we're not, a 1% club or anything like that by any means, or nor do we try to be. When we started the Saddlemen, some people feel like, they can just throw a patch on their vest, and everybody can, they'll get 5 or 6 of their buddies, and they'll throw a patch on their vest, and then that ends up turning out not to be so great for them sometimes. There's right ways and wrong ways of doing things. So, I was in another club prior to the Saddlemen, and it just wasn't for me. So I ended up, stepping down, or quitting that club. And then, when I quit, there were some other people that quit, and they talked us into, they talked me into like, hey, let's start a club. Let's do our own club. And everybody knew what was going to be involved. So we did things the right way, man, and went to, the people that we had to talk to locally, and got their permission, and they support us, and they love what we do, and they stand behind us 100%.
That's good.
And that's a great thing to hear you say. Because again, I've been in the motorcycle world just as long as you have, or maybe a little bit longer. Some people who are just coming on, who don't know the protocol or the situations or the things you have to go through to work as a charity in the motorcycle world, it's good to explain that kind of thing.
Yeah. So, and I want to explain a little bit more, and we can move on to another subject. Don't think that we can go out there and just do a motorcycle club tomorrow. You have to get permission from local groups that are in that area and befriend them, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, and that's how it works. So don't think that this is possible. And you can have a motorcycle group of friends and stuff like that, but MC is totally different. Make sure you do it right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
don't think that we went and had these talks and they were like 100% on board with everything, because
Yeah.
that wasn't the case. I mean, they had to get to know us and we got to know them, and it took a little bit of time before the Saddlemen would even started. But we did things the right way, and that is the way that you have to do it. I mean, it is what it is.
So the other thing is that you started establishment was 2018, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when our trademark was finalized and our 501(c) was finalized. So that's when we officially became a club, even though there was a lot of 2016 part of 2017 trying to get approval to get this thing moving forward and what we wanted to do.
Yeah. So I know some experiences, like a trademark is like $1,000, and on all the lawyer fees, another $3,000. And then being a 501(c), you got to pay a lawyer to do that. That's another probably about $5,000. So you got a lot of money invested in this, and you do great causes. I mean, that's really cool.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it took a lot of time and a lot of dedication, to get the club where it is today.
Yeah. And you got a clubhouse, and I was there today. I set up his camera and stuff like that, just make sure it was working. And man, you got a nice clubhouse. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And you have open house.
We have open houses on Tuesday, and that's it's open to the public, but it's really not open to the public. If you understand what I'm saying, like if you're interested in joining the club and you want to find out, what we're about and stuff like that, then yeah, come on down. And if you're in the motorcycle world and friends and stuff, we are there. I mean, they come down, they support us, they do, they come out and hang out and do what we do. We all support each other. We'll have different motorcycle clubs down here sometimes. There's a lot of good motorcycle clubs in this area, like, the brotherhood out east, and we're in the Southwest Alliance. So with all the other clubs, and that consists of like the Dry Riders, which is like no alcohol, no drugs, no nothing. They're clean, sober drivers. Great group of people. The Brotherhood's great group of people. SOBs are a good group of people. So we all support each other. I mean, so that's what the open houses is to come down and hang out and if you're interested, stop on down, talk to a saddleman and they'll tell you what it's about, what it takes to become a saddleman, because we are choosy, we are picky on who we allow into the club. That's why we stay small, because we want good guys, and we want guys that are going to represent the club in the right way. And if you're wanting to, if you think that club life is about raising hell and drinking and drugs and all that and all that stuff, we're probably not for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we like to drink, we like to have a good time and stuff like that, but we don't need all the trouble, and we don't need somebody going out causing trouble all the time and shit like that, because that causes issues for us. And we're saddlemen, and we want to maintain that perspective, like we're here to help people and stuff like that. But at the same time, we are a motorcycle club. So, I mean, it's definitely a balance.
Yeah, I think.
And
yeah, go ahead.
So basically what you're saying, you have a prospect system.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we got to hang around, you got to hang around.
Okay.
That's part of, that's part of the open house. Come down, hang out. Let's exchange numbers. If we go for some rides, we'll call you up, say, hey, we're going to ride. We're going to do this. We're going to go to this event, come hang out and things like that. And that's your opportunity to find out what it's really about. And then if you're still interested and we're interested, then we go to a prospecting period, or the club will bring you in, you'll grab a couple sponsors, and you'll come in and we'll vote. You need 100% vote from the membership, to prospect in, and then that's when it all starts, and so. Somebody said something about putting something in the chili. So
Yeah.
it's just funny because one of the members, Pigpen, he always threatens to put spam in his chili. So
Oh Lord.
Hey, I don't see the problem.
right.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
jeez.
Here we go.
So
I like spam.
Oh my.
I'm not surprised.
So I've been pretty much born and raised in this area, and it's a way the world spins things. Okay, I know that we talked about, or we started talking about, I think almost 6 months ago, and you asked me to do a couple of your brochures on the thing, and I did, and I said, hey, what you think about coming on the podcast? And I think you said no, you turned me down, and then. Yeah, and then as we grew, and then I think you got more comfortable when you were watching us to see what we're all about, because we are pretty much of a balanced podcast. We don't like trying to. We do some bashing back and forth, but we like each other. We're good friends and that kind of stuff, and we just want to help people, just like you guys.
We are.
Right.
We are.
Max has got he does have an expiration date, and it's running. It's coming soon.
No, you know what? I got an expiration date for you too, buddy.
But what was pretty cool is I put the address onto your club, and I went down there, and I got to meet you, and everything was cool, and you got a nice motorcycle out there. The clubhouse is cool. But I was like, hey, I used to buy stuff in this. There used to be a store here.
Oh yeah.
I used to buy.
Yeah, it used to be a bait store and an archery store, and then
Yeah.
it was Addiston Pizza.
Yeah.
And
Stingers.
then back in the Stingers, yeah.
Stingers,
And then there was a movie theater upstairs at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a lot of history in this building.
Yeah. So I know this place well. It's a nice place, and it's got a nice parking lot too. I was kind of surprised.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like if you're interested, how can they get a hold of you or anything like that if they're in this area?
Well, we got open houses every Tuesday,
Mhm.
except for this Tuesday since we're doing the podcast here. I didn't want all the ruckus and all the noise and everything down here. So yeah, just reach out to a Saddleman or stop down to an open house and introduce yourself and let us get to know you, and you get to know us and see if it's something you're really interested in pursuing. That's the other thing too. Some people, we're not looking for the guys that are, they think it'd be cool to be in a motorcycle club, and then, you get a year into it, and then next thing you know, blah, 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 blah. So, our club is Job Family Club,
Gotcha.
and that's a true statement. However, if you don't have time for the club, then why be in one?
Yeah. Gotcha.
So, and sometimes we have to tell our guys, to be like, they got stuff coming on, and they feel like they need to be here, and it's like, no, go be with your family, man. I mean, it's things you got to do. Your family's got to still be happy, but so you got to have an equal balance between club and family and work and things like that. But at the same time, if you don't have time for a club, then why even join one?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yep. I 100% agree. All right. So we had one more thing we need to talk about on the charity side of things. We missed one.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get my screen here up and get that one on there. You have this one right here.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Booze Fighters. They're doing a benefit for disabled veterans. The Booze Fighters is probably one of the oldest clubs in this area, and maybe even the whole country. I believe. I think it's pretty close to the Outlaws or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty old.
You're absolutely right. It's one of the 2 or 3 oldest clubs in the whole country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have a friend that was a Booze Fighter, so yeah.
Well, the guy
I know all about the Booze Fighters.
Well, the guy that played in the first Terminator, that was the police officer. He's a boost fighter and still is today.
Robert Patrick, he
Yeah.
sure is.
Yeah,
I follow
yeah.
him on YouTube. Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, and they're a good group of guys, man. We've met them, and they do a lot of good work and things like that. And I've met their president, and great group of guys. Great group of guys.
All right, we got.
But that's for disabled veterans. That's going to be down at the our pub down on Vine Street, November 15th. If you're in the area or if you're out and about, stop on down and help the boost fighters support disabled veterans.
Now,
That's one thing about motorcycle clubs. That's Elmwood, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, Elmwood Place.
Yeah.
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 That's one thing about motorcycle clubs is, motorcycle clubs usually spend more money on charity stuff, on charity benefits and things like that than most organizations in the whole United States.
Yeah. And that's the reason why we had like a couple of weeks ago, we had a podcast about clubs and groups, and, and it's good that you, you kind of make sure you get the right type of people in the club, right? So, because it could cause a big problem. You want to stay small. I mean, people come and go, so you need to grow, because
Yes.
it's facts of life. But especially if you want to do good, to keep doing good things and that kind of stuff, you have to have a population.
I'm impressed by their screening.
Their screening, screening.
To that point, how big do you see the Saddlemen becoming?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I really don't know. I'm just worried about now and the chapter that we have and just focusing on that right now. And once we get, enough members, maybe we branch out into another chapter, one day. But to me, that's not in the near future.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sometimes the bigger you get, the more stuff you have to deal with and things like that. And it just becomes a lot of work, trying to keep, everybody on the same path. And I mean, just even within our club, I got a great bunch of brothers, that are focused on what we do. And as long as we can just continue to make sure that we get the guys in that want to do what we do, and keep them on the path, I think we should be good no matter how big we get. But that path cannot alter. That path is the path, and that's just how it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in the MC world, bigger is not always better.
Yeah.
No, not at all. And you could one person can mess it up for the whole club. So that's the other thing. That's
absolutely true.
Yeah. And some of the things that you guys talked about a couple of weeks ago, I was watching your podcast about, why some clubs do good and some clubs fail. Some of that you guys hit the nail on the head. I mean, jealousy, power, things like that. That's things that all clubs deal with. Once you start moving forward, and it just is what it is.
So
social media.
Yeah, social media.
Well, one thing that I believe in, man, that behind every great club is great leadership. And to have great leadership, you have to remember that no matter what your job sticker says or your patch says, we call them stickers, because it can be removed as fast as it's put on. But at the end of the day, no matter what sticker you have, including myself as founder and president of the Saddlemen, I am first and foremost a member of this club.
Right.
Just like every other member of this club. I'm no better, I'm no bigger. I got a little more job responsibilities, but you cannot let that get to your head that you're something bigger than what another member of this club is, because if you do, then you're going to fail. I mean, we just got jobs to do, and that's it. So,
Agreed. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah, Chris.
All right, so
Keep those words in your head.
I did put their Facebook. Oh my gosh, I put their Facebook in the chat there. Saddlemen and Friends is actually their Facebook, and go check it out.
And you can reach us. You can reach us on there. If you're interested in joining, you can reach out. Somebody will respond and let you know start that process. But if you're watching or you see this later on, the first thing is just get to know everybody and come down to see what it's about.
Yep, exactly. If you're in Cincinnati, and you're around here, or just send them a message and say, hey, listen, hi, man, how's it going? You guys got any events this weekend? That kind of stuff. And
Yep.
yeah, go.
Well, I did take,
and we do.
I did take some screenshots, and I'm going to try to make it to some of these events. So we're going to try to get there.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
No problem, man.
All right, we got I hate to interrupt here, but I always got to do this. One thing, if you want Saddlemen to get more and more views on this podcast, one thing I need you to do if you're watching, make sure you're liking the podcast. Make sure you put the love sign on if you want to, and Facebook, that kind of stuff. Also, share the podcast, and also the other thing is subscribe to our channel, okay? Because we do these podcasts every Tuesday night. Next week, we will be going to Tennessee, and we're going to be doing the Jack Daniels ride, and that's October 9th to the 11th. And then we will have a podcast next Tuesday, but it's going to be only about 15 minutes, maybe longer. We haven't really decided because we got to pack because we're leaving the next day. But we're going to release the Dragon Slayer video that Max loves. He says he's watched it like 6 times on his toilet. Loves it. He said it's only about 20 minutes. Is the right size. He says, man, how'd you make that so short? Because I was going so fast.
And you lie like a rug. Go ahead.
I heard he was going back.
Yeah, I'm going back. But it was great. Me and Les went down there. It was a great ride. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to be giving everybody the actual EOR to the private video of me and Les installing BC custom leathers on our motorcycle. I think it's pretty good. What do you think, Connie? You watched it last night.
URL, by the way, not ULR.
Thank you. I asked you a question. I asked you a question. I didn't ask you to comment.
It was comedic. No, I'm just kidding. It was pretty good.
I didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
She said it was just pretty good. I mean, okay, we're not going to give the link out.
I was actually pretty impressed. We put the levers on my bike and we didn't break or scratch anything, so
that was
I'd call it a success.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm impressed. I'm impressed you didn't set the house on fire. So the thing is, though, it's a how-to video, which is great. You took the criticism to heart and you're doing an actual how-to video. Is everybody going to sit there and watch a how-to video? Hell no. Most people are bored to tears by it. But you did it. So congratulations. You did a good thing.
There wasn't a whole lot of cussing.
Mark that down because I said you did a good thing. Don't take it forever.
Where's Max at? I can't see him anymore.
Where did Max go?
You know what? See, why do I even try and compliment
you? Did good.
I said he did a good thing. And he treats me like this.
Oh,
you know what? Bullshit.
I love you, Max. You're the best.
Know what? I said you did a good thing.
You did. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I got to have a little drama. Drama goes a long way, I heard.
You heard wrong.
All right. So, Tony, thanks for coming on the podcast. Chris, Max, Les, and Connie, thanks for having Tony here. That's right. Local, one of the things I like to do, because I do have guests that's across the United States, which is cool. And I do have, if you guys haven't heard, old man, was it Pat V Room? Was it Les? I can never say it right.
Pat V Room.
Yeah. Coming on to the podcast, and he's the guy that did 125,000 miles in 125 days. Pretty much an iron butt ride every day plus, which is going to be cool on October 21st. So he's going to be here. That's going to be a good podcast. I put it out there really early so we can get as much, I guess you could say news about it as possibly can. But that's cool. But we got Tony here tonight, and I thank you for coming on here. I really appreciate going down to the clubhouse, meeting you, and he was so nice. I'm telling you, I come off, as you can tell, Max knows I'm pretty sarcastic, very backwards.
You can be an ass.
I can be.
Just put it out there. You can be an ass.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Oh my God.
I call a spade a spade.
Yeah. So one other thing is that our friends we have the Legend Never Dies tour next year. If it doesn't matter if you ride Harley, it doesn't matter if you ride Indian. This is he this set the dates at my understanding. I gotta get the dates here unless you got them on
The
hand.
video just came. Riding Fish just released the video today. It goes through a great detail.
Yeah, Riding Fish.
Yeah,
So-
I actually wrote it down. He's starting on May 25th and running. It looks like through June the 4th. He's taking 10 days. He's going to start in Chicago,
Yeah.
all the way out to Santa Monica.
Yep. Hold on a second.
Be a good ride.
Yep, it's going to be a good ride, and we're only going to be able to go like 2 days, unless his vacation doesn't roll over yet. So we're going to try to meet him in Chicago at least 1 or 2 days, hang out with him, and then go back home. But that's going to be a good ride, and as you guys know, Riding Fish is a really good supporter of the channel. Really helps us out a lot. We're going to do the same thing with him, and we're going to support his cause too. So, which is pretty cool, and that goes to what is it? Honor. I can't. Oh,
Folds of
it's
Honor.
good.
Folds of Honor.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
yeah.
yes, which he will be donating all the proceeds from that he goes to dealerships and stuff going to the Folds of Honor, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So, all right, I think I got everything. If we reach 750, so we get $100 gift card. All right, and we're going to do that. We're going to raffle. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be raffling all of them great parts from Ride Culture and Dater Mike and that kind of stuff. And BC Customs is going to have a set of levers. Now, if let's say you have a Harley-Davidson, I think he'll still, if you send him the levers or you just tell him what model it is, he can make custom ones for the Harley-Davidson also. So it doesn't have to be Indian motorcycles. It could be any, and Folds of Honors, exactly right. Body Snatcher. I'm glad you're on here. And then if you guys want to meet us, and there is maybe a couple spots left for the Jack Daniels dance down there, the ride in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It starts in October 9th to the 11th. And the guy Body Snatcher in there has made all the routes, and they look pretty cool. If you go to let's see here, let's go up to.
Well, talking about the Jack Daniels, right, Chris? I had thrown out there if somebody came up to me that said, "Hey, you're the guy from the podcast that I didn't know."
Yeah.
I'd give them a hat. Well, that happened a couple weeks ago at the IMRG ride. Somebody, I think, from Cleveland. So I threw it out there. I'm like, "Hey, man, if somebody recognizes me again at Jack Daniels, you're the guy from the podcast. I'll give you some 12 Club coffee." Well, it actually happened down at Smoky Mountain Bike Week. So the coffee has been claimed and the hat's been claimed. So I'm going to come up with something else to give away now.
Yeah, me and Les, I think it was on Thursday, we said, "Hey, what do you think about going down to the Smoky Mountain Bike Week?"
Marysville, isn't it?
Yeah, Marysville. And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." And I was like, "Are you sure? Are you positive? You just said it just like that?" And we was
I
like,
made
"Okay."
hotel reservations that night.
Yeah, he made hotel reservations, and in 24 hours we were riding down there. We hit some traffic. We were on the way
To
down
say
there.
the least.
Yeah, say the least. So it took a little bit longer to get down there because of the traffic. But man, once we get down there, you forget all about the traffic. And on the way back, we raced home. I swear it was. We left Tennessee, went to Mexico, and then came back to Indiana and Kentucky, northern Kentucky.
Jeez.
So I didn't know we were riding through Mexico like that, but it was pretty cool on a private
the Smoky
track.
Mountain thing. Yeah, the Smoky Mountain thing turned out to be a bigger thing than I thought it would because Traveling Tall did a couple of spots from there, and a couple other people did too. So yeah, it was a big deal. So and from the vendors I saw down there, it was vendored up like any other rally I've seen.
Oh yeah, they had KST, Pad Performance. They had every vendor that you could think of down there. Almost every
Yeah, I
sound
haven't been to
equipment,
that
of course.
one yet.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the Smoky Mountain Rally yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. You go to the Harley dealership, Smoky Mountain Harley-Davidson. They have, of course, the shed there, and then all the back lot's just full of vendors.
And then
then
at
you
the
go
mall.
over to the mall. Yeah, in the mall, the parking lot, has probably 20, 30 vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where Traveling Tall. That's where Traveling Tall was at the mall, and he said there's vendors down here. So
Yeah. So I mean, it's a really good gathering. My favorite part of that whole thing was the writing that we did. Outside of all that,
Oh
going to
yeah.
Dragon Skyway and things like that, going to Robbinsville and Tellico Plains. So that's really the fun part of that rally.
And then speaking
Oh,
of
yeah.
that, I think this is the actual private link, so don't share this out. This is going to be to watch the video. I told everybody I was going to do it in 5 minutes. Here it is. Check out the how to put BC custom levers on your motorcycle, and they're real nice and everything else. But anyway, get back to that.
You guys did a good job, and they look pretty
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah,
They look really
and if
good.
you need help, Chris will travel to your house and help you put them on.
And
No
we'll burn your
thanks.
garage down.
Yeah. So here we go. 26 viewers and 11 likes. We can get those likes up. Guys,
Yep.
you got to like, share, subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole lot of work to do, and Chris does it all. So, hey, help Chris out and at least like and subscribe, guys. There's a lot to this.
Yep.
So we need help too.
Yeah,
Chris needs help. Chris needs a whole lot of help.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Max is hoping to make us a paying position someday.
We definitely
We
need
got
that
a
tech
long
guy.
way to go before that happens.
Yep.
Need that
I
tech-
think you guys are doing good, man. I've been watching you guys for a while, and it seems like every
appreciate it.
podcast is better and better and better, and you're starting to focus probably on more topics that people really want to hear and things like that. So you guys are doing great.
Yeah,
Keep it
thank
up.
you. Appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Thank you. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, I wish Les would have been
Process.
here on the group. What is it? The group and MC kind of like what makes him great, what
yeah.
makes him.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite podcast right now. He really is.
That was my favorite too. I mean, because like I said, you guys really hit the nail on the head with a lot of the things you were talking about, why clubs succeed and why some clubs fail. And pretty much most of it I can't argue with. I think you guys did a really good job covering that.
Yep. And if you guys want us a topic to discuss, just send me an email, okay? And you can get my email at throttle, or actually you can go in the comments in throttleandiron.com and send me a message, and we will look it up and we'll do a topic on it. If we think
into
a lot of people want to watch it. I think.
Hey,
go ahead.
Billy still wants us to do the communication one on the Cardo Senna debate.
Gotcha.
So that's a topic right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah,
a good hour.
Yeah, that's a good hour.
Yeah, that's more than an hour. Jeez.
Okay, so
Yeah, but see, I'm still resisting though getting that Cardo stuff because my wife will want to set, and then she'll want to talk to me
Yeah.
while we're writing. It's just horrible.
I'm gonna.
Oh my gosh. Heather, if you're still on here, girl.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Yeah, Chris.
Hey, go ahead.
Hold on a second. For the second year, it was
So-
great. Next year will be even
why-
bigger. There we go.
So,
Nice.
Chris, why does that say Mike? Well, look at the screen.
Oh,
What
it
do you
does. This is
What
the
did
old
you
screen.
do?
This is the old screen. This wasn't about to be on here. So I was just talking
Holy
about
crap.
it. Yeah, because
There we go. Holy crap.
you be quiet. All right, let me get the right here.
Tech
You
guy.
had to notice. You had to notice, didn't you?
Yes.
Let's see. Chris, Marty, looking forward to seeing you guys in Chattanooga. Damn right we are. I can't wait to see you
yeah.
guys. We are going to be doing a podcast at the dealership. It's going to be, I think, 4 p.m. till 5, and then we got the dinner at 6. And V Room Old Man will be there. He's going to be a guest.
is he?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, let's see here. What? Go ahead.
I think Sparky wanted to know what camera you used.
What camera I used on?
Yeah, he had a question at the beginning of it.
I use a few cameras. I for the podcast I use a R5 Mark II.
No, the one on your helmet, I think.
On the
you
helmet,
said.
I use the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Okay, and I also use a our Indian Ventures hit me up. I can help you. All right, is he on here? Oh, Chrome. What's he saying? I'm missing some of the comments here. What's he say? Anyone else having trouble downloading those GPX from Jack Daniels. I been getting airs. Yes. Okay. So he'll help you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Body Snatch is the man.
Yes, he is.
Dan, thank you. Great show tonight. Thanks for all the hard work. We do it for you guys. Just keep watching, grow our audience, share, and subscribe. That's that kind of stuff. And we're gonna have you on here again, Tony, as we go through the year, and you got some of the things that you need support. The good thing is we have a podcast every Tuesday night. That doesn't mean we can't have one on Thursday night. That means we can't have one on Wednesday night. If something pops up and we have to make an exception, I can come around myself and we'll look at Max. You know what it is. He's probably got a pillow behind him. He's probably about to fall asleep.
No. I got other guest appearances I have to make.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
Oh my Lord.
Yes.
So are all three of you guys going to Sturgis next year? Max, you going?
Yeah,
that's a question that'll be answered after November.
Yeah. It's either going to be a new Indian or it's going to be a moped, but we'll figure it out one of the ways.
Hey, as long as it's got two wheels, we're all good.
And my wife is about this close to getting a Spider. She hasn't really.
That's 3 wheels there, dude.
3 wheels. She's been.
Oh yeah.
She's been negotiating. She's about this close.
Heather has a 3-wheel, so she did pretty well on the Tail of the Dragon, man.
Dirty B.
So she.
I can see my wife getting a 3-wheeler eventually. I said, she did her training. She just did her training within the last couple of weeks, and she did all right. And she's like, I'm not ready to go out on the road on 2 wheels yet. And I'm like,
I'll tell you what.
Out on that.
I'll tell you what, Tony. If she's interested, we'll have you guys over for a bourbon tasting session, and the ladies can go do a test drive on Heather's Spider. So she can.
There you go.
And see what she thinks about that. But Heather got that in October of last year, and she just turned over 10,000 miles on it already. So she's been riding the crap out of it. Yeah,
good.
She really likes it.
So Mike Vincent said, "Good show, guys." I missed his comment earlier. Apologize that. I'll try to get as many comments I can on the screen. And hey, so I'm thinking that if we get a lot of friends in the Cincinnati market that will like watching our podcast, I think we should have like some kind of maybe little small midget or Christmas party, and maybe if we do a $10 charge, we can just give it all to the Saddlemen group here.
Oh hell yeah, man! Heck yes, I'm in.
So we'll have to think about that. Once we get big enough, we'll help that's what I want to do, is help our local, our groups and stuff like that. So we do have, like I said, guests all across America, but we are based out of Cincinnati, and we have a lot of friends here, and it's great about this area. It's a lot of riding. But you go a little bit south in northern Kentucky, you got some great roads. You go north in Ohio, you got some straight roads and cornfields. But you go a little south, you're good.
I'll tell you what, some of the guys in the club, I'll take them on a west side ride. Mm-hmm. And we'll do like 75 or 80 miles or more and never leave the west side. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we never even knew some of these roads existed. And some of the guys are like, I forgot these roads even were here. I used to ride these all the time when I was younger in cars and things like that. And I'm like, you don't have to leave the west side to do a good ride. I mean, there's a lot of good roads out there.
Yes.
Brother Tony, you're preaching to the choir here. Like I said, between doing the AFR runs and everything else, it never ceased to amaze me. There was a lot of familiarity with some of the roads, but it never ceased to amaze me. They always found one road that I had never been on in 10, 15 years of riding with these people. It's like, absolutely. God bless, where do y'all come up with these roads from? There's a lot of good riding on the west side, but there's a lot of good riding down here in northern Kentucky, too.
There is. Kentucky has a lot of good riding. Last time me and my wife went to Gatlinburg, we took 27 all the way down to Knoxville.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and it was a beautiful ride, and it was just awesome. And we had to be on the expressway for a little bit, and then we jumped back on, on the state route. But even going out to like Sturgis, we took 74, up to Illinois, and then we were 30. I think it was 34. I think it was, and we took that straight on across all the way till we got into Missouri, and then shot up to, or not Missouri. So we went through Iowa, and then we shot up and came into Rapid City on the south end, and we ended up going through the Badlands and things like that. It was just the outer edge of the Badlands, and it was just wild. And then so we went with a group of a bunch of the guys from the Southern Ohio Bikers, and they got like a hotel that they ran out every 2 years. They go like every other year. So they got this whole prepaid thing planned out with the hotel and stuff like that. And like you guys were saying about the Airbnb. Yeah. $1,000 a couple wasn't bad. I think we spent I think our room was like $1,300 for the week, and it was great. Yeah. I mean, we get back at dusk and we'd sit in the parking lot and throw cornhole and party and things like that, and just talk.
Absolutely.
And it was a great time, but they took us down into the Badlands, and that was kind of amazing. And one thing I didn't know was that most of the movies that show like moon footages, like they're on the moon and stuff like that, a lot of that is the moon footages and movies are shot in the Badlands, because the Badlands look similar to the same areas that is on the moon.
Landscape,
so it was actually kind of it was kind of cool as hell. So
and the Badlands I've been there twice, and the Badlands are always part of my favorite ride to do, because there is beauty in desolation, and that place is about as desolate as you can get. Wes will back me up on that one.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah, you break down out there, there's nothing around.
Yeah, there ain't nothing. And you better make sure you have enough gas.
I hear
at least get back to Wall Drugs, something.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wall drugs.
Oh yeah.
Wall drugs. Free water.
Well, speaking of that, me and Les do, and maybe Max, plan on going to Sturgis next year. So we are doing 6 couples, and so if Max is going, that means we have 3 spots left, right? So is it 6 or 5 couples?
5, I think it is.
5 couples, yeah. So we only got really 2 spots. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless unless that 6th couple wants to sleep on the couch, and that's probably not a good possibility. But 5 couples.
Yep. So.
Well, I'm not one of those guys that'll probably go back to Sturgis or out that way. There's so much more stuff I need to see. I'm getting ready to turn 55 years old, and I want to start, hitting some different places. Like last year, me and my wife did the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, did the whole outer edge, and went to Torch Lake and all that stuff. And so this next year we're doing a cruise. That's our big thing. We're going to go to Alaska, which I'm not a big cruise person, but supposedly we're flying.
All right. What was that? King crab, brother. That'll make it worthwhile. Just eat the king crab. That's all. That's the only reason I want to take a tour to Alaska. I want to eat the king crab. That's it.
So the next 2027, we're going to do the whole Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So we're just going to shoot up Michigan real quick on the expressway, and then do the whole Upper Peninsula all the way around and drop down through Wisconsin and come back home. But everybody that's been up there said you will not regret that ride. It's a beautiful ride up there. So I've never done it. So, and there's things I want to do. Like I like to see Tombstone, Arizona. I would like to, start going more southwest than northwest, or Midwest, I should say. Because, we've done Yellowstone. We've been to Wyoming, Montana, things like that. And then with the Sturgis trip this year, we did a little bit of backtracking on some of the things that we've seen. But, there's so much stuff. Like I've never seen the Grand Canyon. I want to ride in the Grand Canyon, and I want to
Route 66 all the way.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So just things like that, we're all getting we're all getting older. I mean, and you know, I don't really see the need to keep doing things over and over again. So I want to see new stuff, and I want to, you know, start planning like one big trip every year to go somewhere,
Yep.
and go and do that. And, you know, I want to ride as long as I can. And when I can't, then I'm ready for checkmate.
Yeah, I'd love to do a Grand Canyon loop, go out and
Yeah.
ride all the way around, and come back through the $1 Million Highway, come back through New Mexico. I actually had
Oh,
plans a
yeah,
couple of
yeah.
years ago to do that. Yeah, a buddy of
Yeah,
mine went
that
out
would
to
be
Colorado.
awesome.
We went up Pikes Peak. Yeah, we went up Pikes Peak. We were
Hey,
actually delayed a day or two. Go ahead.
Right. If you guys ever do that, man, let me know. I'm in.
Okay.
All right.
We plan
All
on
right.
it. We might do it next year. So, but
Yeah.
we want to grow. We want to do rides, and we want to, you know, get in the culture of motorcycling. And you know, and one thing that we base ourselves on these podcasts is we want to talk about safety. We want to talk about group rides. We want to talk about only thing good about motorcycles. You know, and we'll get into some topics if it's about safety. That is, you know, some, you know, dangers is a new rider starts, you know, riding, because I'm only been riding for 3 years, so I have a lot to learn still. You guys have been riding for 30 years
Damn
plus.
straight.
Oh my gosh.
Damn straight, rookie.
Yeah, I know. I'm a rookie. But
I lived as a kid. You know, my parents had a house up in Fairmount.
mhm.
My dad had a 1940s. I think it was a 74 or an 80 cubic inch flathead chopper, and it was painted candy apple red. So we had like
Right.
one step to go to the porch and one step to go into the house. And my mom would hear him coming, you know, from about a half mile away, and she would open the door and he would drive that thing right in through the living room into the bedroom, and the bike was in the house. And I remember being about 5 or 6 years. I remember being about 5 or 6 years old. I'm sitting on the couch and I got my hands over my ears, and you could just feel the compression hit my chest and stuff like that. And he shut that thing off. And when I took my hands off my ear, I was like, when I get older, I got to have one of those. And it was over from there.
Yeah. When did it start
Yes,
for you?
Yeah, so you know, Tony, the exact opposite of that. Growing up, my mom and dad, if it did not have 4 doors and a hard top, you were not going to drive it. You know,
Right.
They were anti-bike, anti-mini bike, go-kart, anything. So as soon as I turned 18, the first thing I did go buy my first bike. As soon as I turned 18, you know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so yeah, I had.
And my
the,
daughter's, yeah, go ahead, Les. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I had the exact opposite. Nobody in my family rode. I can remember my grandfather. He said, "Man, you're just crazy. You're crazy." When he found out I bought my first bike, so complete opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter's that way. So, you know, I used to ride my daughter all the time on the bike and stuff like that. And she had kids, and then it was like a total 360, man. She was just totally anti-motorcycle. You need to wear a helmet. You need to do this. You need to stop riding and stuff like that. And then my grandson, her son, just bought his first bike. And she is struggling with it, and she's worried about it. You know, as a mother, you do, you know, as a parent, you want the best for your kids. You don't want them to, you know, get in danger or anything. But, you know, all these years I've been telling her, like, he's going to ride. It's in his blood. I mean, it's like I said earlier, you know, I rode, my dad rode, his dad rode, his dad rode. And, so, you know, he's out there doing it. And I wish that she would have been a little bit more understanding so that he could have started learning on dirt bikes and things like that, rather than buying his first street bike and going out onto the street. That part scares me a little bit. But when he first got it, I took a day off work and we rode down the Rabbit Hash, because they live down in Independence. So I just wanted to see how he would ride and things like that. And by the time we got done riding, we had lunch down at Sunset Grill and all that. I was comfortable with it. I mean, he's got his head on his shoulders. He's riding good. He did very well for only riding for, 30 days at the most, so You know, I think that made her feel a little comfortable, but she still just doesn't like it. You know, the mother instinct kicks in. So,
Yeah.
So what kind of bike did he get?
I understand.
Again?
He ended up getting a little Suzuki 300 Ninja.
So
So I mean, it doesn't have a lot of horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's super light. Looks sporty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good beginner bike for him.
So here's my thought process on this, okay? Because you seem like you took him to see how he rides and that kind of stuff, and he's going to be more safer riding with you.
Yeah.
But the problem when we were down in Tennessee, and because this is a safety thing I want to talk about, a crotch rocket motorcycle passed us on the interstate, and it was like almost 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and he was literally going 180 miles per hour with full traffic on all 5 lanes. We going around cars, and I mean, what do you say to him to make sure that he never does something like that? Because these kids feel like they're invincible, you know? They really do. They think nobody can touch them. The law can't catch them because these crazy people on YouTube show them this. The faster to get to a touring bike, the better it is, I think. But I mean, what would you say to him that would probably make him never do something like that?
Nothing.
Just let him ride.
No. You know, he's gonna. It doesn't really matter what I say to him, because it's sort of like, as we get older, we think about all the things that like our grandparents and our parents said to us, and we're just like, whatever, blah 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 blah. And then here we sit here today, and then you start thinking about everything that they said to us, man, and you're just like, damn, they were right. I should have listened to them and things like that. But we never will. I mean, no. I mean, I've split semis before on a CBR 1000 going over 130 mile an hour. So I mean, what I could say it,
but they don't have to listen.
No, they don't have to listen, and they're probably not going to listen.
No, they're probably not, because guess what? We're the old graybeards now that we didn't listen to 25, 30, 40 years ago when we thought we knew it all. And now we know they were right. See, Chris, you need to listen to me because I'm right.
That's 100% correct.
Tell him, Tony.
It is, man. I mean, it really is. I mean, my grandparents told me all kinds of things when I was older, my parents and things like that. But you make your own path, man. You carve your own way, and we all learn from our mistakes, and we all learn different. So, I'm not saying I don't give him advice, but I give him more truthful advice. Like, you shouldn't be freaking acting stupid if you can't see at least a mile and a half ahead of you. Things like that. I mean, there's times and places to play around, and that's not everywhere. So you gotta be reasonable. You gotta watch the drivers around you. You gotta be, careful. The whole 360, man. Your whole bubble around you when you're riding a bike. You should know where everything is and everybody. And even when I pull up to a light or an intersection, I'm looking at that car sitting there. I'm making sure that they're looking at me. And if they're not, man, my hand is on the clutch and the brake, and my foot's on the brake, and I'm ready to maneuver or lock that thing up if I had to, because it's more defensive riding than anything else. So exactly. Those are the types of things that I tell him.
Connie?
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, you know what it's going to take? One of those puckering moments.
Yep.
If you live through it, then you'll know.
Exactly.
When you have one or two of those, that's when you know.
Yeah, it usually only takes one.
It usually only takes one, but usually you get a couple. You know that as well as I do.
One of the things is I had a helmet on. I was listening to music, and he went so fast and was so loud, and he was 4 lanes over from me. I was like, it actually scared the shit out of me. It was like, what the hell was that?
Well, Like I said, I've never seen anything go that fast in my entire life.
Yeah, and it's like I don't. What was that? Was that Nashville or where was that? Knoxville. Knoxville. Yeah.
Yeah, just outside Knoxville. I can tell you because I was up in the front, and about the time that I heard him, he was already probably 300 feet in front of us. I mean, just that quick.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the noise. I glanced to the right, and pew, he was just gone. I mean, absolutely gone.
We experienced that at in Sturgis. We were on the Iron Mountain Park or Iron Mountain, and a group of gold wing riders, and they wasn't like your typical gold wings. They were more like the sportier gold wings.
Mm-hmm.
And they had their whole, gold wing suit on and things like that. But we're riding in a group, and these guys are coming up trying to pass us on blind curves and things like that. And if they seen cars coming, man, they just slid into our group, man. I'm sitting there thinking like,
yeah, it's
that's kind of crazy, man. I mean, you're going to get us all killed acting a fool. And I wasn't really happy about that.
You would think gold wing riders would know better.
We're going to revisit.
You would think gold wing riders would know better.
Yeah, we're revisiting.
You think they'd be more responsible?
Yeah, you know what they call that, don't you?
What's that?
Attack of the Winger Dingers.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez. All right. So
here we go.
You know what, Tony? That's going to be, we're actually almost an hour and a half. And
I know.
So we're in another subject, another podcast. We're going to invite you back. Okay. And we'll talk about this stuff.
Awesome.
All right. So
Yeah,
we'll have you a guest, and this is going to be fun because I enjoy having guests on, and I'll just text you and say, listen, man, because you bought a camera just for this podcast.
Yep.
Hey, I'm happy to have somebody on here who agrees with me for once.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's because we're old, Max. We're getting old.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, take it and shove it. All right.
Hey, you know what though? At least we made it to this point because we've lost a lot of
Damn
brothers
straight.
along the way.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
So,
You know we have.
yeah.
Yep. All right.
All right.
All right. Stay on here. We'll have a little after comment thing here. Thanks for everybody tuning in tonight. 26 that are watching, only 15 likes. If you're on Facebook, get your butt over YouTube. Like this as much as you can. Tomorrow, when it actually finalizes processing, get on there and make some comments that you like this. Share this podcast on YouTube. We really like you to go on YouTube. I know a lot of people watch it on Facebook because I put it on Facebook tonight because they got a Facebook page. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't isolate their members. So get on YouTube. Sign in, subscribe, like, and share. All right. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night with the opening of the Slay the Dragger video. We'll be on to talk about that. I think it's a really good video. You guys will like it. It's 25 minutes long. So it's not like...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's pretty short. Pretty short. Actually, Les told me to slow down. I just couldn't hear him. We didn't have comms on, so everybody have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Namaste. Namaste. Good night, everybody.